Sports. It's about 11:04 night at night Central Standard Time, but grind don't stop. Draft's on the way, bro. Uh, Pick five, my 32 team series. Even if your team wasn't in the first round, we're gonna cover it. We don't do trades. If you haven't seen the videos before, and yeah, man, let's just get into it. I know you don't want to waste your guys' time, man. I really do appreciate you guys checking out the channel. And yeah, if you guys leave a comment, disagree with the picks, let me know, man. I'm always open to it. I reply to every comment. Always open to discourse, and I don't take it personal. It's football. You know what I mean? All right, pick five. Pick five for the Giants. This one seems a seamless fit. I do believe this team is very close to contending. They excelled this offseason just by, in general, getting a guy like John Harbaugh to lead this organization. And I think pick five, even the way this board's shaken out, Jeremiah Love, I don't see that being the Ravens model, which was John Harbaugh coming from the Ravens. I just don't see that. Francis Mauigoa makes more sense if we're going to do something outside the norm. Obviously, they're not going to go bench. The pick for me is my number one player in the draft. Easily the number one player in the draft for me. I don't know anything about his medical concerns. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on things like that. So, off tape alone, talent alone, Caleb Downs is the best player in this draft. He is a Kyle Hamilton level safety. And if I'm wrong on that, come back to this video, let me know. But you get a guy like Caleb Downs in there. I know they have Tyler Nubin. You can find a way to make it work, or you can trade Tyler Nubin and get more draft equity in the draft. But getting a guy like Caleb Downs would change your defense tremendously. Okay, pick 37. Here is where it gets tricky because I would go interior defensive line if they do move off Dexter Lawrence, but they would get some draft capital. So we're not going to make that pick. We're going to make this pick as Dexter Lawrence stays with the New York Giants. On their corner room, they picked up Greg Newsome, Deontay Banks, if you're still believing in him, Paulson Adebo, ooh, Drew Phillips, love that dude's game. Dude is an absolute dog. In my opinion, one of the best nickel corners in the league. You do need to work on this linebacker room as well. Getting Tremaine, a guy like Tremaine Edmonds was such a good get. Dude, I don't know what Daniel Falale has on John Harbaugh, why he loves this dude so much. But him and Evan Neal has got to be the most hilarious two deep right guard position on a depth chart I think I've ever seen on an NFL team. Receiver could use some work as well. So let's try to address it in the draft. I'm thinking corner here. And judging off this defense, and I actually really like the hire that they made on this defense, this staff. A guy like Trayton Stukes is a guy I would really target here. But I don't have him higher over a guy like Avion Terrell or a guy like Colton Hood. My rationale for this is you're really small at corner if you get Avion Terrell. You have Drew Phillips and Greg Newsome. I correct me if I'm wrong, but Golden Hood is somewhat, yeah, 5'11", 200. So he's a lot bigger than Avion. Not as long as you would want. You can see teams kind of want a guy that's kind of longer and deals with these guys that are really good at contested catches, especially on those back shoulder throws. Um, but you just got to get a really good corner in that defense, and then we're just going to go straight secondary would be the move here, in my opinion. You can also kind of think you're going to go offensive line, but I kind of like Illuminor, man. I kind of thought he wasn't that bad last year. Thought most of the problems were Jackson Dart being a rookie. So, with that being said, getting a great corner like Colton Hood, great corner, has the same coach as Jermon McCoy. And it's so obvious, man. Like they're really, really fundamentally sound. Getting a guy like Colton Hood at 37 is a fucking steal, bro. Like that is I cannot harp on that enough. That is such a good pick for this defense. You already have Drew Phillips. You had a guy like Caleb Downs, and then you get a guy like, oh man, then you get a guy. Oh, dude, this defense is already shaping out really well. Okay, like if you don't want to do that pick, you could also come around here. Malik Muhammad is another great corner. I like Chandler Rivers a lot as well. Hezekiah Massis, a little shaky on him. I kind of like Devin Moore. He's kind of shaky, so it's not a we need you to play right now. That is not a move you want to do. I kind of would advise against that completely. Okay, pick 105. Dominique Orange is here. That's an awesome one. Now, knowing how John Harbaugh thinks, I'm gonna hit a running back. This is just not that good of a running back draft. Just because it has Jeremiah Love in it does not mean it's a good running back draft. You can go a guy like Jonah Coleman. I'd be more interested in going receiver like Malachi Fields as opposed to that. But that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna do exactly what studying the Ravens and John Harbaugh's drafts. We're gonna do exactly what he would do. He's gonna take a big offensive tackle to like learn and develop and hopefully start. And a guy like Jude Bowery is a awesome player. He's going to go higher than this in the draft. Write it down. If you think that pick sucks, watch him go higher in the draft. If you think it sucks, watch him go higher in the draft. Because so far, this draft is shaking out to be extremely well. Hit on the offensive line, hit on the secondary. You already have an elite pass rush, especially if Abdul Carter gets going next year, which he will probably. This is a really like borderline contending team now. Um, that being said, I'm tired of people telling me tight end needs to happen. I'm like, they have two good tight ends, two really athletic, very promising tight ends. I don't want to hit on tight end right now. Another position I want to hit on, linebacker. A guy like Lander Barton really makes a lot of sense to me. Really does. I think getting him in um, early, dude, you cannot. If you watch Lander Barton, Utah would use him at tight end. They would use him on offensive packages. The dude knows football. Knows football. His IQ is outstanding. He's a great linebacker. This linebacker room, outside of Tremaine Edmonds, is very, very underwhelming. You need to get guys in there that will raise your ceiling as a defense. And this is what this team's identity was, man. This is what won you championships. Getting a guy like Lander Barton is a freak show. Freak show. My player comp to him is Peyton Wilson out of Pittsburgh. And for some reason, he's falling to like later rounds. Like they're saying he's a day three guy. Their NFL is drastically undervaluing really good linebackers. You saw it last year with a guy like John Harbaugh had as a rookie in Teddy Buchanan. Get a guy like that in Lander Barton, and you'll never look back. You'll be like, oh, that was a really good pick. I cannot believe that worked out. That being said, pick 186. Ew, okay. Now it's gonna be now we're kind of like, okay, we can kind of go BPA here and kind of do the pick that we really feel good about. If you look at their defensive line, you still have Roy Robertson. You got Dexter Lawrence, Roy Robertson Harris, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. I feel good about that. You took Darius Alexander last year. You can add another interior guy, and I think I may. And you can add another edge. Maybe. But I think now we need to address this offensive skill position, guys. Try to help out Jackson Dart as best we can because I think the dude was awesome, awesome, and he was even better to watch. A guy like Trip Trainum is a guy that I'm going to target later, probably. I think he complements Cam Scatterbo in that backfield extremely well, extremely well. I don't want to make Devin Singletary a thing, so I'm going to give somebody in there to try and get him out of there. Okay. 186. Josh Cameron, I'm not really good. I'm gonna tell you guys a really big time sleeper in this draft is Eric McAllister out of TCU. Jeff Caldwell, athletic freak, freak show. But the thing about Jeff Caldwell is no one was talking about Jeff Caldwell until the combine. That's a bad sign at receiver. You can get him and hope he works out, or I can take a proven commodity at wide receiver who was awesome at Boise State, awesome at TCU. Dude is a flat out playmaker, and I think the Giants would really benefit taking a guy like Eric McAllister. Ignore these values. That's not this is not going off any information. This is just a composite board they put together. Ignore it completely. Get a guy like Eric McAllister and seriously thrive in that offense. Do not be shocked if he's a starter and is a second contract guy on that team. Okay, pick 192 and 193. So now we can kind of get fancy on how we're going to do this here. Because now we got some things going, man. This is turning out to be a really good draft. This might be one of my favorite ones, to be honest with you. All right. I really want to try to hit interior offensive line, man, and I'm probably gonna take a guy. Knowing how Harbaugh is, a guy like Armaj Reeves Adams is a guy I would take later because they're gonna do it. Man, this is tough. I don't. There's no one here that I would do right now. I got like Diego Pounds, maybe slide him inside, maybe. Um, Knowing how he is. Yeah, I mean, there's no one I really want to take right now at that spot. Let's go to running back. Let's do Trip Trainum. I think that's round six. Yeah, really good player, really good running back. He's like this year's Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt. And if you watch Toledo, which I did quite a bit, they were really talented, man. Really good secondary. Shocker, right? But getting a guy like him is a really big time move, and I'm kind of rocking with it. Now this is technically, I believe, our last pick with the Giants. So I want to make sure I hit this spot, and you can, and they can. What they'll probably do here is trade back. They'll trade back in this draft, get some more day three picks. Um, I am looking at Armaj Reed Adams. Caden Barnett is another really awesome dude. Awesome, awesome. Has Baltimore Raven written all over him, which also means John Harbaugh. We'll figure that out. If he completely goes against the grain of their draft strategy, that's going to be very telling. But it's between Armaj and Caden Barnett. I'm kind of, as soon as I clicked his profile, I remember him with the eye black, and I'm just like, yeah, he's got Giants written all over him. Just tough, gritty. Like that is like the dude. I grew up an Eagles fan, but watching the Giants, that is their entire philosophy, and I've never stopped loving it. And I hope they get back to it. And we did get back to it with this draft. We got back to it. Great pass rush. Stay with it. Add a guy like Caleb Downs. Complete difference maker. Complete difference maker. Whoever gets Caleb Downs in this draft changes their secondary completely, changes their defense completely. Caleb Downs. Go get him. Alabama defense was awesome with Caleb Downs as a true freshman, goes to Ohio State. Defense is awesome both years. Wins the national championship one year. Defense wasn't the reason why they won the national championship the next year. Get a guy like him. Colton Hood, really, really good corner. Everything you thought Deontay Banks would be, Colton Hood is. Jude Bowery, really good offensive tackle. Lander Barton, stud, stud. Dude, I gave the Giants just the board just went to almost like a lot of guys that were my sleepers. Eric McAllister, love it in that offense, really do. I would really go after him in fantasy in this offense. Chip Trainum, Chip Trainum is going to push Tyrone Tracy. Devin Singletary's out. Eric Gray is no longer a thing. Chip Trainum, that's the thing. Caden Barnett will make the roster. That is a really good draft. Really good draft. If the Giants did this exact draft, they would be a borderline contending team. You heard it here first. Borderline contending team. They're very close. Don't get it twisted. They're very close. And it started with them getting John Harbaugh. That's it for this video, though. Tomorrow, probably later, you're going to see the Browns video drop at pick six, and then the Commanders, and so on and so forth. Um, if you guys saw any picks that you disagreed with, wanted me to go a different direction, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll reply to it as well, man. If you stayed this long in the video, I just want to let you guys know I truly, truly do appreciate you. I'm not making any money off this. I just do it because I really enjoy it. Have a ton of experience, mostly coaching football and evaluating the position at the collegiate level and international. Decided to do, I mean, was served in the United States Army and just decided to do it just because I love it. So, yeah, that's it, man. So I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you at the next one. Peace out.